What's up, YouTube? Here's a look at the purchases I made for the entire month of May. And yes, it's limited to one fractional gold piece because gold and silver has risen to a point where I didn't feel comfortable paying for it. And according to my gut, it looks like it was right because spot has since then come down. In the month that I haven't purchased anything, spot went from 1797 down to the 15 range. Gold has come down from the $1,300 range to the low $1,200 range. So I'm definitely looking at where I can make some value purchases. And these fractional gold pieces is where I think it's at. So here's a 2015 1 ounce gold panda, and I wanted to compare it to the 2006 1/4 ounce. I also have the 2015 1 ounce Britannia, and I'll also bring out some other fractional gold pieces, or in this case, the 1/4 ounce Queen's Beasts. For high dollar coins, you gotta decide whether or not you want to go for the full ounce, which usually sticks closer to spot, or if you want to pay a little bit more premium and then start building a smaller collection of different coins with that same amount kind of budget. Here's an example of a 1 ounce platypus in platinum. And once again, it's mainly, do you go for the full ounce or do you break it into fractionals? So what I'd like to talk about is the premiums on fractionals and how you can use it to your advantage while also trying to pay the least amount for it. Now there's a reference video by Midas Mulligan that talks about the fractional gold pieces in depth, and I highly recommend it. I'll include the link below, so have a look at that video if you're wondering about how to buy gold fractional coins. It's a great resource and a great reference. I recommend anyone looking to purchase gold to watch that one. So the question I ask myself from time to time is, do I buy this 1 ounce piece or do I break it up and buy 4 1/4s or 2 halves? And in this case, you can see with these pieces, it really depends on my budget. And what I'll do in order for liquidity is to get fractional pieces. And I'll stick with quarters just because that's my comfort zone, quarters and tenths. If you've noticed in my last NGC submission, I did have a few $10 Indians, and those represent the half ouncers in my collection, or in my stack, so to speak, just because I try to keep a diverse set of coins available so that at any point in time I have something that someone wants. And when you have that security or liquidity, if I can't sell one thing, hopefully I can sell another thing. My preference is for smaller denomination, semi-numismatic or numismatic coins that have the ability to manipulate the spread, where I can play with the spread a little bit in my favor, whether lower when I'm buying and higher when I'm selling. And I have that flexibility in between to actually sell the coin. Whereas bullion, I'm locked into a 2 or 3% above spot for this gold eagle, or a spot value or just under spot value for this Canadian maple. So liquidity for the bullion coins like this gold eagle is nice to have just for a security that, I know I can sell it at any point in time. I can walk into a store and I know exactly what I'm going to get. And here's a comparison between the two. I walked into a store. I know I'm going to get X amount for this 10th ounce, which is at this point in time $120. But I also brought in this gold Indian, which has numismatic value, but I was offered $120 as well from the same dealer. So they don't care whether it's numismatic or not. So keep that in mind when you're making your purchases and where your exit strategy lies. I prefer to have a little bit of both. Pre-33 is difficult to purchase in both silver and gold, so do your homework before you make any purchases like that. In the modern realm, the current issue is usually the best issue to get when done in fractionals because the premium isn't that high and the fluctuation in spot price can actually make your money back. There are exceptions where premiums are ridiculously high, like gold pandas. Right now, the half ounce gold pandas premiums are ridiculously high, and if you have any to sell, go ahead and contact me. That's just one of those things where the Panda series is the collector base is growing so rapidly that the market is spiking on a pretty good rate. And if you've made purchases, if you've made your bets, you're sitting pretty and watching your portfolio value continue to climb. Most of these fractionals you see I've purchased over a period of time, and I usually buy multiples. I try to get 3 or 4, maybe even 5, and then sell 1 or 2. I've done this over and over with pandas, the lunar horses that you see, lunar goats. I've done it with gold eagles, a number of coins. And this helps me to reduce the premium that I've paid on the coin in order to get it closer to spot. When you lower the cost average, when you end up selling the coin, then pretty much the premium difference that you do get is all pure profit. So it's another benefit to kind of get those semi-numismatic coins where you do have that premium that appreciates versus just a bullion where it's just tracking spot. Here you can see a bullion 1 ounce Britannia to a Queen's Beast, which is also a bullion coin, but is a rare bullion coin. So I kind of envision it like the 2008 Lunar Mouse. It's going to be the key to the series, I would imagine. One of the other side benefits of buying fractional pieces is that you don't really notice that you're accumulating as much as you are. It's one of those things where I'd call it a chipper. And I keep chipping away, purchasing a tenth here, a quarter there, and eventually it's added up. At first I started with tenths, now I'm starting into quarters. And once I found the ability to save more, I was able to buy a little bit bigger chunk when I was able to save a little bit more money. So now I'm able to show you my raw coins that I haven't sent in for grading that have a chance to still appreciate and have some numismatic value gain. This 2006, for instance, I purchased for $630, and is the next one on the market is going for $1,100, for the most recent sale. So just to give you an idea of how to play fractional, and don't get so caught up in trying the big one ouncers. Play the small ones. If you like, comment, like, and subscribe.